Hi everyone. Well, May is coming to a close soon and I have not given you the May garden tour. So this is going to be it. I got my shower in. It's been a long weekend already. Friday and Saturday I did a yard sale where I sold some more plants. Not as well as the last weekend, but I'll get into that in another video, next video probably. But as far as the garden tour, let's get started. Start with the strawberries. We got flowers, and then we got berries coming in. That's gonna be so exciting. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Then fast forward. I harvested some of the stinging nettle already. It's starting to flower, and I did not want it spreading seed. I see that the comfrey is also now starting to flower. Look how beautiful. So I'll be cutting that back also and putting it in my swamp water. I've done a little bit of a lot of things. Ah, snake. There's a lot of them. I don't mind unless they're slithering next to me. I don't mind that they're around. Can't see that. Okay. Anyway, we went over this plot of onions. All right, so I have several asparagus. Oh yeah. I changed my mind on the asparagus. I was going to put it in the other part by the garlic, but I changed my mind and put it here instead. So this will be its permanent location. I lost some. Some got dug up and some disappeared entirely. So I have maybe 10 or so in here. So that will grow in. And then these corn I had left over from the sale. So these I planted in, and then I stuck seeds in the rest of this bed, which is a lot more space than I had in the bed I was gonna put them in. Now I put this meshy thing down to hopefully save some of the seeds in there, but I put it in a day later and I feel like I've lost seeds, so I'm gonna plop in some more seeds just in case. So that's the garlic coming up really well. The lettuce that I've been harvesting, that's self-seeded. That's self-seeded. This I planted, threw in some seeds in the ground in the spring, so I'm eating that. Alright, here is, we planted this a couple of weeks ago. They're coming up assorted. What do we got here? Sorrel, cress. This is oregano. This is thyme that overwintered. Flowering now. Cool. I got the sunchoke in, or Jerusalem artichoke. It's coming, doing good after the ill effects of spider mites and me spraying. The figs are looking very healthy. Look how big this leaf is. This plant's really doing nicely. And then my gardener was having a berry flash sale, so I got some raspberries. I'll go over in more detail what I got in another video. So I got 4 of those, and I got some strawberries I'll get to in another bed. Now potatoes, the russets, I had so many left over, and this was just mulch that I put here, so I just dumped like 30 potato seeds in here. Whatever grows as far as I'm concerned. In here is American Persimmon that I bought from the store, saved the seeds. I don't know if anything will come up, but I'll let that sit there for as long as it needs to. While this is gonna rest, this is where the shed's going. It's gonna rest for another year. But while this just dirt here collecting weeds, I'm gonna probably throw in sunflowers in a couple of days. Seed that. in our greens bed, our pak choy, bok choy have bolted, which is very common for them when the heat comes up. The tatsoi, oh, something's nibbling really well on that. Yeah. I harvested, I took the heads, the majority of the bok choy, and then I left some to see that they would come back, and they do come back. But I just don't know if they'll just bolt right away anyway. The celery finally coming up. We've had some really good rains. We got here spinach, got chomped on. The rainbow chard is doing okay. This I just put in the other day, so I was protecting it. That's a spinach. Here's another spinach. It's trying to protect it from the digging critters. Now, so far, this bed in its entirety is a failure. I just can't put little seeds in here because the slugs. All this wood is just a factory of slugs, and they have just mowed down most of the beets. And I've got sparse carrots. I seeded more carrots. I don't know if they'll come up. And also there's a certain kind of weed has invaded this bed. It's getting harder for me to weed it. But I might scrap the beets entirely and plant whatever leftover greens I have from the sale that I have a lot of. So those will be more established plants. They'll have more likely success in making it in this bed. So that's probably what's going to happen there. This is still empty for the most part. I'm going to get to this hopefully this week. This will be melons. And I've already transplanted the tromboncino-ish squash. I have to thin this. There's a lot of seeds in there. I have to thin that. I forgot I had stuck some peas along this trellis, and they got squashed by this paper. There's one coming up. There's a couple in there, sad little things. These were the ones that I had started indoors, starting to flower. But I guess they never really rooted very well in the subsoil, so they're very yellowish looking. I could feed them more nitrogen, but I don't think so. I'm not gonna, waste my nitrogen on them. This is the ones I seeded, and they're pretty much caught up in size. So it shows me that as long as the space is not slug central, I can just directly plug in my seeds and the peas will do fine. And I can't really do it any earlier in the year because they don't do anything when it's that cold. And it's cold for a while here in the Northeast. So these had just started coming up really fast. But I should get peas soon. Yay. Over here, I plugged in some nasturtiums into my little toilet garden. I'm gonna fill in probably marigolds. I think that's what I said I was gonna do. Put in some marigolds in there. Here, the rhubarbs doing well. I'm not gonna harvest the rhubarb this year. I'm gonna wait another year on them. And then this is the one I'm letting flower. See what the seeds look like. And then I threw in some fingerlings, potatoes, and they're coming up. There's another one. And the garlic here is nice and tall. I'm gonna need to feed them soon. Alright, what we got? Where are we going? Let's go to the next rhubarb area. I had some extra broccoli that I plugged in. I have more broccoli I'm going to be plugging in. The artichoke, yep. I got leeks. I got asparagus. More leeks. These are onions. Another artichoke. We had a huge pile of logs and twigs that has now smoldered down to nothing. And this is the future site of the chicken coop. So we needed to get that cleared out so we can put our foundation down. So I'm very excited to get that underway. And the chickens will have their permanent home. This is the future tomato alley, and anything vining, cucumber also. I've preset a couple of posts. I'm gonna line the outside with, I got some bamboo. I'm gonna line this and string across the strings. I've got the dozen tomato plants probably and more that I'll be stringing along here. And then I'll plug in. I got plenty of volunteer borage. I've got, let's see, I got a volunteer bok choy over here. I don't know, some other mustards are in here too. Lots of volunteers. Over here, these were fingerlings I put in bags a while ago, so they have gotten ridiculously big. It's so cool. I thought I saw a flower. I might have been mistaken. It's a little early still for them to be flowering. But then I also got some straw, plugged in some more seed potatoes. I'm just plugging them everywhere I can. Seed potatoes, I don't know if any's coming up yet. Looks like, yeah, the potatoes are coming up. That's awesome, yay. And then this is their blueberry patch, and it's been a struggle. This isn't good soil here. But there used to be pine tree in this area, so we thought it would be good for acidity purposes, but it's questionable. But we do have, this one had flowers. I don't know what happened to the flowers. I don't know. Yep, there'll be berries in this one soon. But hopefully next year and years to come will be better harvest. But there's about 9 blueberries interspersed through here. Alright, what do we got next? Alright, we're over here. I did a lot of weeding underneath this red maple. I'm gonna plop some plants in here. Oh, look at the line of ants. Where you going, ants? Where's your little eggs? Anyway, I got a little baby artichoke in here. I don't think that's gonna make it through. It's still too tiny. And then the center is a round of the asparagus, all coming up nicely. And then last year I had left some potatoes that were, you know, teeny tiny or sad looking, and I just left them in the ground, and they're coming up. I got volunteer potatoes, so I have lots of potatoes this year. No shortage of potatoes. There's another one right there. All right, that's those. And the only other thing here is the ground cherry that I showed you the other day. And it's looking sad in here. It's looking very, oh, look at that. We got those beetles. Close up. Those bad beetles are out. I gotta kill those guys. Yeah, these are still green, so it's not the best at eating. So I'm just gonna leave those there. I have plenty more ground cherry. These I grew really early, so I can understand why they're having trouble adjusting, but I have plenty more where that came from in smaller size. Alright, let me get you to the next plot. So this I just put in an hour or so ago. This were the overwintered bell and jalapeno. Already got one fruit. I finally let it be. So I did all that, cleaned it up, put it in. This you haven't seen, the ginger I planted in my hay bed. I was reminded that they are, you know, shallow plants, so I took half the soil that was in this bed and just put the ginger in. They didn't need that much soil, so now I have extra soil for somewhere else. And the ginger is doing pretty well. The one that I just left in the window got really leggy, of course, very tall. It's like 3 feet tall. And then the one that I had under a grow light is a 1.5 foot, I'd say. Very stocky, looking very healthy, and lots of shoots coming out the bottom. So that should be a good ginger harvest in this space. Over here, we have not planted in. We've got artichokes doing really nicely in the back. And then this is my eggplant. This is okra. And then assorted peppers. This is cumin. I lost one. Yeah, cumin's might not be my year for cumin. But I've got assorted hot peppers and other peppers in here. The regulars. Jalapeno bell. Poblano. Over here. So apparently I had thrown in a potato here. I thought it was a fake potato because sometimes there are like leafy things that come up that look like potatoes and they're not. So I pulled it up and there was a potato on it. So I was like, oh crap. I buried it back in. Should be fine. I'll be putting, you know, either eggplant or more peppers in this bed. Some early potatoes in there. I've got more peas coming up on the bottom. And I've got this fence for them to climb on. That's all potatoes I showed you the other day. Chieftain, and then blue, Adirondack blue on there, and then the rest is russets. And then I have not plugged in my sweet potatoes. I'm still waiting for my order from Fedco. They should be coming this week, they said. But this is the ones that I have, you know, rooted myself. So these are the slips. I've let them acclimate to the sunlight. So when I get the rest of them, I'll just plop them all in together. And then I'm making another bed over here. I'm just waiting for more cardboard. Here is my little flower bed that I'm trying to establish. I forget what this is. It's, I think, a type of marigold. If you let me know, if you know. This is a type of delphinium. I think they are so precious. And then down here are snapdragons that were winter sown. So I just plugged this in a couple of days ago. Over here are more potatoes that I just got some, you know, used hay, put it on top, and then put the seed potato on and put some more hay on top. And then here is the recently purchased strawberries from MI Gardener. I got 10. And I really was struggling to plant them. I was going to put them in containers, but I stink at watering those. And I really like things to be on the ground. And I think these bags, these are just, you know, all those bags you got years ago for grocery shopping from Lowe's, from Verizon. They're meshy, they're clothy, so they'll break down eventually. But until then, they will house the strawberries. Alright, we have our German and music garlic. I put in some of that, what is it, fertilizer. It's like kelp and all the yummy stuff that garlic like, I guess. This is yellow, no, golden yarrow or yellow. And it has yet to flower. It should be this year. This is the second year. I have plenty of borage volunteers, as you can see. And then this is where I left the asparagus that I thought I was going to move. But I decided I'm going to leave it instead and just plant among them. Let me cross over. Oh, and then I was able to plant in my cilantro, dill, and parsley. And I got some more peas up here. More golden yarrow and the elephant garlic over here. Now I plugged in some radish, which, because I had this space, so I figured radish, they're quick. But, you know, something's nibbling away at them. So who knows if I'll get any radish for myself. There's a couple, but not nearly enough. So I'll probably throw in maybe basil in here. We'll see what other stuff I have left over from the sale that I can plop in there after I harvest the radish. Ooh, I haven't seen this flower in all the 3 years we've been here. I don't even remember what it's called. That is pretty. It's not open yet. That's nice. But I also plugged in my Johnny Jump Ups in here. This is like not soil. It's just rooted, like the roots are so intertwined in this area that you really would have to bring soil to grow anything. So this is like a little bit elevated and, you know, mulched. But I'm trying to establish more flowers in this general area. And it's just a lot of wood chips and big trees. And the only other thing are hollyhocks. Oh, my lantana I'll put back here when I need to harden it off for a couple of days, and then I'll put it back here. And then these are hollyhocks, I hope. The deep purple ones coming back. And I have some delphiniums here. Definitely this one. They're not doing as well here as they... Oh, I see they got eaten. Well, that's just wonderful. This one. Something's happening to these. But yeah, I want to definitely get more flowers also on this border. Oh yeah, flower. My calendula. My calendula I planted out. So I've got older calendula and then younger ones. As you get to the front, these were winter sown calendula. It's a basil in there. But if they don't get dug up, they should survive and be really beautiful soon. Ugh. The bugs. Well, alright, that concludes the May garden tour here in New York, zone 6A-ish. There's still a lot of plants to plant. I will show you in the next video all the plants left from the plant sale, and some I've already put in the compost because there was no way I was going to plant 20 tomatillos. One, well, you need two, but one was plenty, and I'm not interested in tomatillos this year. But we'll have to see what other sacrifices we make in the few days coming. But I look forward to showing you a full garden tour with everything planted out in June. Alright, I hope you are all having luck with your garden this May. I know there's still some funky weather happening all over the place. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!